All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Karat Kodash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. I want to give honors and salutation to the hopeful elect that are out there doing the work in truth and in sincerity. This is your priest Bilal with another lesson through the spirit and power of our Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. It's like I was reading as I was saying that. And this is going to be a land back of the elder brother Amon Gabar. You know, he had did a lesson on the mother and her seven sons. You know, and the brother said, you know, basically speaking that that's the amount of faith that we're going to have, in these times to come. You know, so without further ado, you know, I want to get into another example of, the faith that we're going to have through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yashai, to get through these rough times, that we have ahead of us. So this is the book of Second Maccabees, it's the chapter before the one that the elder brother had read. It says, it's like here. Forgive me, I was kind of reading up a little bit, but I'll read that a little bit later, Lord willing. This is Second Maccabees chapter 6, verse 17. It says, but let me start at 18. It says, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, and an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth to eat swine's flesh. Now this is going into that wicked decree that Antiochus had decreed, that all men should leave their the laws of their father, and follow his laws, man. Basically giving Jake license to sin, as doing in America today. But you had certain men, especially like the Maccabees, Akim, Judas and his brethren, and many others that rebelled against this, in righteousness' sake. It says, but now this is what constrained to. Let me read that again. Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. I want to look up that word constrained real quick. Bear with me 1 second. I'm gonna look up this word, constrained. Let's see if I can find Google on this damn thing. I feel like an old man. I'm gonna look up this word. I want to get a deep understanding of this word, constrained. All this stuff on this thing slowed it down. But bear with me, Akim, Baruch. I see it. Constrained, okay. So let's look up this word constrained, and the definition is to appearing to force or overly control. So basically they was forcing him to do this. They was forcing this man's mouth open, so he could eat swine's flesh. That's how much, Eleazar, how much faith he had in the Lord and love for the Lord. They had to force him. Mind you, he's an old man. It says, appearing forced, right? Okay, to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh, but he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spat it forth. And it came from, spat it forth, and came of his own accord to the torment. Right, man. So he was like, man, because they forced it, the swine's flesh, which is the pork, into the brother's mouth, so he could eat, and he spat it forth, man, and he walked up to the torment, man, So it says, and this is the same thing, in these days that brothers are gonna have to go through, because the scriptures speak about it. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Let's see if I can find that right quick. Let me see. Bear with me 1 second, brothers. Like, I don't think I can find it right here. I can look it up here. So, matter of fact, you know what? I'll read on. Let me read on. It says, so, verse 16, chapter 16, verse 18. It says, no, I'm sorry, 19. It says, but he chooses rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spat it forth, and came of his own accord to torment. And it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for the love of life to be tasted. It says, right. So a lot of them, and that's Jake today, man. Because Jake loved their lives, man. Jake is hella scared to die. Because they love their life so much, man. They'll give anything for it, man. Except a sacrifice for Yahweh Hashem Yahshua. Jake would do anything to continue his wicked ass life, man. So they were in awe, man. Like, what's up with this guy, man? It says, but they that had the charge of that wicked feast, it says, for the old acquaintance they had with him, taking him aside, besought him to bring of his own provision. So they had some type of respect for Eleazar, man. So when it's like if I'm looking that way, the lens is that way, and I keep looking that way, thinking the lens is there. So they had respect for Eleazar. So what they did was they took him to the side and said, yo, listen, man, out of respect, out of love for you, man. Now these are wicked ass niggas. Out of respect, out of love for you, man. Just bring some lamb, bring some goat, just eat it and say it's pork. Man, you good, we got you. But this is what Eleazar said. It says, such as was lawful unto him to use, right, lawful meat. It says, and make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. So you could tell that there was an audience there. There was an audience there. Maybe the king had his men there to make sure that Jake was going off. Jake was doing what he commanded them to do. It says, and it's gonna be the same thing today, man. You're gonna have Jake telling you, man, yo, just take that device, man. Bro, just come on, son. Bro, you're gonna have family, because they're gonna, the scriptures tell you, they of your own household, shall be against you, roughly paraphrasing. But you're gonna have them saying, yo, bro, come on, man. Because they're on the brink. Should I give this nigga up or should I not? And then they're gonna try to convince you, yo, bro, just put it, bro, it's gonna be quick. It's easy. It doesn't even hurt. Just put it in your hand. They just snap it in your forehead, bro. Just do it, man. So we be good, bro. Jay, you gonna have your own family telling you that shit. Your own friends telling you that shit, man. But we gotta have the spirit of Eleazar, man. It says, and make as if he did eat the flesh that was taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king. It says that in doing so he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor. Right, man. You know, so they saying that, man, listen, man, we're gonna have to kill you if you don't do it, and we don't want to kill you, you know, like Jake was saying, modern term, man, we fuck with you, man, you know. But Eliezer, hear what Eliezer said. But he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age and the excellency of his ancient years. So this man had honor. This ain't pride right here speaking. This is honor, and the honor of his great head. There you go. Whereunto he was come. It says, and his most honest education from a child. Right, he was raised up in the law. You know, you don't spend all that years, you know, studying the law and keeping the law, and then one day you just fucking say fuck it and break that law, man. You don't do that, man. You know, that's hey, like that saying go, man. Stand for something or die for nothing, man. You know? Bear with me 1 second. I gotta get this other precept on deck. Alright, so it says, I'm sorry. It says, but began to, this is verse 23 now. Second Maccabees 6 and 23. But he began to consider discreetly, and as it became his age and excellency of his ancient years and honor of his great head, whereunto he was come, and his most honest education from a child, rather it's like it, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightway to send him to the grave. Man, like, fuck you sellout niggas, man. Fuck y'all niggas, man. Send me to the grave, man. I'd rather die than to dishonor myself, to dishonor my power, man. You know, and that's what we gotta say. And Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua be with us in that day, man. That we say that same shit, man. If we, you know, are carted off in the concentration camps, you know, if Esau try to tempt us with such shit like that, Lord Yahweh Shem Yahshua Abaratazah, man, that we have the same spirit as this brother Eliezer, man, and as the 7 brothers and their mother. You know, because I can't say, yeah, man, that day I'm gonna be like this. I don't know. You don't know what type of spirit you're gonna be in, man. You know? You don't know, man. It's like it. So, right. So, give me 1 second. Right. So he says. It says, right, verse 24. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any to dissemble, any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eliezer, being fourscore, which is 80, which is I think was that fourscore, he was 90. Yeah, he was 90 years old. We're now gone to a strange religion, right, man? So then the younger generation, you know, would see, you know, and say, man, maybe these laws of our Lord Yahweh, you know, ain't the real laws. If Eliezer spent 90 years following the laws and he just broke them to eat some pork, maybe I should just go eat some damn pork too. You know, Eliezer ain't want that, man, because he knew the younger generation looked to him, man. You know? Unlike today, where you have, you know, older men looking up to the younger men. You know, back then it was the younger men looking up to the older men. You know, to the priest, to the high priest, man. You know? That was a great thing of honor back then. It still is today in the known Israel, as I like to say, in the known Israel, man. Meaning in the ones that know that they're Israelites, man. You know? It's like it. I'm gonna flip this camera over because it's gonna look weird because I keep looking to the other side and shit. So let me flip this camera over right quick. Okay, now watch me look on the other side. You know what? I'm gonna flip it back because I don't see those numbers flipping with me. So, alright, let's hit it. Yeah, okay. Alright. So, so this is also, adding on to the brother's video. This is also the level of faith that we have to have, and these are scriptures to meditate on, especially on a day like this, where you're in the day of atonement fast. Your Yom HaKippurim fast. That it's a lot. Let me So yeah, these are things, to meditate on, scriptures to read, to build your spirit. It says, verse, let me see where it was. Oh yeah, verse 25 now. So they, through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little, this is the part too. It says, and they, through my hypocrisy, desire to live a little time and a moment longer. So you're gonna put that device in you, knowing everything the world's about to be destroyed. Because when they drop that device, that the end is here. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna try to prolong your life for what? A couple minutes, a couple hours, a day or two, So you're gonna live with that fucking shame forever? You're going to live with that shame of going into the spirit world, because you're going to die eventually, going into the spirit world, and your stupid ass took that device. And now, I always think about it like this, man. You go up in there, the angels looking at you like, this. But they ain't going to do that. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to go up there with that stigma, that shame. Hey, man, Lord willing, y'all watch me, man. If I go into the spirit world, let it be with honor, Let it be doing what my forefathers did, what the prophets did, man. Now ain't no goddamn shame. So as we read on, it says, right, and they through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little moment longer, it says, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable. Right, you get a stain to his old age and make it abominable, man. Back then honor meant something to men. Your name was everything back then. Your name was everything back then. That's why if a man spilled dirt on your name back then, hey man, you're liable to fucking off that nigga, man. Verse 26, it says, for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. So you gonna take that device, and you be good. According to Esau, you be good. You live along society, as long as you do what you're told. But you ain't so you escape his punishment, his destruction. But what Eleazar said, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. Now remember what King David said, man. The Lord is everywhere, man. If he goes into the depths of the sea, the Lord is gonna be there. You can't run from the Lord, man. The Lord got a spiritual GPS on your ass, man. So you escape that hell, but the hell of Yahweh Shem Yahshai, which is that ultimate hell, is that hellfire that he's going to send raining down on your asses, man. That's it. You ain't going to escape that. Or the Lord could just have you put that device in you, and that should give you a fucking cancer, which it is gonna do, because the scriptures speak about them having that grievous sore, you know, due to that radiation, man. That stuff is foreign to your body. You know, and you know the device I'm talking about, man, the Revelation 13 and 16, man. So that device is synonymous to that pork right here, man, that Eliezer was being forced to eat. It says, wherefore now it says, should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead? Because if you're alive, you're going to jack your ass up in his body. And then you die, guess what? Now you're right before him. Now you got to explain to him, you know? There's another scripture too. Things popping. Precepts is popping up in my head, but I just want to, you know, get this thing rolling, man. You know? Right, so this is there's a few actually. All right, so this is Romans chapter 14 verse 12. It says, so then every one of us shall give account of himself to the Most High. Right, every one of us is going to have to give an account of our actions to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And that's why Eliezer said what he said, man. You know, I mean, not that he read it out in the book of Romans, because the book of Romans came, you know, many years after, you know. But through the Spirit, he was speaking, man. Let's see. Bear with me a second. I gotta find one more precept, a couple more precepts. You know, it's easier when you're on your phone. It's just boom, boom, you know. But here, so this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 7. It says, for the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. Right, so the Spirit of the Lord, which is what I wanted, it says, for the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world. Right, the Spirit of the Lord filleth the world, man. So that's why Eliezer said, you ain't going to escape him, neither alive or dead. You see that? So it says, let me read on. It says, verse 27. It says, wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will show myself such an one as mine age requireth, man. Honor, man. It says, and have a notable example to such as be young, willing to die. It's like let me read that again. It says, and leave a notable example to such as be young, to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. You know? So that's the spirit that, you know, we all want to be in, and we all pray to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua that we in the hour of temptation, you know, in the famine, in all these hard times to come, that we stay in that type of spirit, man. You know, no wavering, man. Just boldly have faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And let me get this precept real quick. This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 6. It said, I'm gonna start at 5, man. I should start at 1. Let me start at 1. The point is in 6. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right. We're hoping for the kingdom. We're hoping for the destruction of this world, this wicked world. You know? So we're hoping for it. And the evidence of things not seen, things that have not been seen, is the kingdom of heaven. You know, and we're waiting and hoping for the kingdom of heaven, man. And we believe that the kingdom of heaven will be here on earth, man. You know, it says, for by it the elders obtain a good report. And that's why, you know, Elder Apostle Tahar, he has such a good report with all men. You know, anytime brothers come out, you know, and I might speak to the brother, you know, they all say the same thing, man. Yo, his spirit is intense, man. And it's the same thing with Elder Apostle Gabar, Elder Apostle Ramlah, you know, Elder Apostle Rakar. You know, he don't like to be called that, but Elder Gad, Apostle Gad, you know, and all the elders, man, you know. So they obtained that good report by what? Their faith, man. Because remember the year 2000 thing had happened, and I believe that's Luke 17 and 22, I believe. If it's not it, then I'll just quote it. I think it's 17. Luke 17. No, was it 21? 17. I forget where it was, man. Let me see. Nah, it's like I forget off the top where it is, but the scripture speak about the day will come that you will desire to see me, but you shall not. And they didn't see the Lord in the whole year 2000 situation. And guess what? They kept on going through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai. They had faith enough, and their faith led them to that scripture, And I had spoken to one of the elders, the elder Zion, and I was speaking to him, and basically I said that, the year 2000 thing, man, I was in the 4th grade. You know what I'm saying? I was in the 4th grade, man, when the year 2000 rolled around, man. So you had a lot of other brothers that needed to come in first, man. The elect wasn't sealed, which Lord willing, I'm saying us, the brothers that came in along with the apostles and elders, Lord willing, we are the elect. We're the hopeful elect, Lord willing. I'm not saying that, you got guys, they'll loop you. This guy from GMS said, he the elect. How the fuck does he know? You got guys that really do shit like that, man. But let me read on, man. So it says, through faith, we understand that the worlds were formed by the word of the Most High. And the word worlds going to, there's many, different worlds. There's a world of animals, there's a world of trees, there's a world of, there's different worlds, man. That's what it's talking about, man. And then you could go into these other planets, or and such like that, man. So it says, were formed by the word of the Most High, and so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. It says more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous. The Most High testified of his gifts, and by it being dead, yet speaketh. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because the Most High had translated him. It says, for before his translation he had this testimony, that he pleased the Most High by his faith. It said, now how do you know? Next verse. But without faith it's impossible to please the Most High, to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Right, man. You gotta have faith in Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, man. Certain situations, man. It was one big situation that had happened to me, back in 2019 going to 2020, and it was, man, I just told the Lord, man, I don't know what to do, man. I have no idea what to do. I'm powerless to do anything. I just leave it to you, man. And the Lord, had heard my prayer, and hey, he heard my prayer. Let me say that, man. So let's go back to Brother Eliezer. 30 minutes. I ain't doing 30 minutes show in a while, man. Usually I try to keep my show shorter, but his spirit, man, it's, it's Yawam. It's Shalaki, man. Everything's just slipping on my mind. It's a Day of Atonement, so the spirit's on, so let it roll on, man. So verse 29. Right, so 28, it says, and leave a notable example to such as young to be willing to die and die courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. Right, so they tormented him right after he said those words, because he cut them, man. You know, it reminded me of Stephen, man. You know, remind me of Stephen, because the same thing happened when Stephen started cutting these niggas up. You know, what happened? He was stoned to death, man. After that, niggas was like, stopping their ears and everything. They didn't want to hear it, man. It says they that let him changing the goodwill. They that let him changing the goodwill, they bear him a little before into hatred, because the foresaid speech proceeded as though from a desperate mind. So, you know, they thought he was, you know, in a way they kind of thought he was probably, you know, afraid, or in a way he's trying to beg for his life in a offset way. It says, where was I now? It says, but when he was ready to die with stripes, he losing my say. He groaned and said, it is manifest unto the Lord that the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in my body, being beaten, but in soul am well content to suffer those things. It says, because I fear him. So he feared the Lord more than the fear of losing his own life, man. And that's what you gotta do, man. You gotta fear the Lord more than you fear losing your life. Lord willing, that'll be the title of this lesson. It says, and thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a notable courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation. Right. And to this very day, that man's notable death is still being talked about, man, by the prophets, thousands of years into the future, man. You know? So, you know, fear the Lord more than you fear your own death, man. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahshai, Ba'ashem Rachar Kodash. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, honors and citations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.